Hello, this is production version 1.4.0.69. Just going to be reviewing a issue per talking to Mark over the phone and as well as Adine regarding the detail status and what we have seen, how it works now versus how we anticipated and how we'd like to see it work. So right here I have open a LSR detail. I've begun filling in the required information to create it. I'm going to go ahead and finish it here. I'm going to say that it's just no fire stopping, and then I'll just quickly add a photo here. Pick one at random, and then enter the side, hit save to save the photo. Uploads the photo. And okay, so everything's in here as expected. And now I'm going to show you the kind of the first issue we're having. So in the past, when we would press closeout, the deficiency panel would then be displayed. Now it is actually triggered by this drop down here. So if I hit yes, meaning the item would be deficient, the panel automatically appears. I didn't have to press closeout or anything like that. And then once again, when I go back and switch it to no and change the status up here back to compliant, the panel goes away. Now, I mean, this is not exactly how we'd like to see it work. First thing is we don't want this panel operated just by this drop down. Instead, we would prefer that the panel would be displayed based on a combination of what is the input here in the drop down. So for example here, if it's yes for non-compliant, and then by hitting closeout, then the panel would appear below. So the next piece is how this actually works in the background. So right now, although on my screen it's a little difficult to see, the detail up here is in fact non-compliant, and unfortunately on my screen for some reason it displays a little bit funky, but that's a different issue. But anyways, it's currently non-compliant as a detail. However, if I was to go back and reopen this survey, yes, and change the status from compliant to non-compliant, the survey itself, or the deficiency itself, goes away before I hit closeout. And then when I press closeout, the status up here does not change. So I've gone ahead and I've edited this survey so that my result was compliant. There's no other non-compliant surveys within this detail, but I still have a compliance status of non-compliant. I just want to confirm that with you guys. So you can see right here. So the problem here is if we edit a survey from non-compliant to compliant and there's an open deficiency record, the deficiency record somehow remains hanging in the system somewhere in database space and is still affecting the overall status of the detail, regardless of the fact that it is now not part of the display. And from a user perspective, they would have assumed that it's been deleted at that time. So the desired result would be then that if I was starting fresh, and I can just do that by pressing reopen, that one, if the survey is non-compliant, that the bottom panel wouldn't be displayed till I press this closeout button. And two, if for some reason that this was a mistake and I wanted to go back and edit this so that it in fact went from non-compliant to compliant, so by reopening the survey and then by switching the status from compliant to non-compliant, that when I press closeout again, that this compliance status would reflect the fact that yes, there's in fact one survey and its survey result was compliant. Therefore, it would have to disregard any hanging deficiency records, and in fact, ultimately, we'd probably want to see those deleted. So once again, if I hit close out here, the expected result, since this is a compliant result now, would be that the compliance status of the detail in fact went to compliant. As you can see here. Okay, and so that includes kind of the walkthrough showing you guys what the problem is, and we'll probably have to accompany this with maybe a document breaking down what we anticipate. Thanks.